Hello, I'm Professor Annie, and today we're going to be going over how to use trig functions for any angle in any quadrant. This is one of my students. She needs a little extra help, so we're going to be working with her today. What's your name?
I'm Cameron Luck.
This chart is going to be very helpful as we go over the lesson. First, we're going to go over finding the reference angle. For example, if theta equals 300, we know that 300 degrees is in quadrant 4. So, just like the chart said earlier, you would take theta and you would take 360 degrees and subtract it from 300 because it's in the fourth quadrant, and then you get 60 degrees. And 60 degrees is your reference angle. Cameron, why don't you come on up here and try part B?
The first step is to find the coterminal angle of negative 135. To do this, you add 360 to 135 to get 225 degrees. With 225 degrees is in quadrant 3. So what you have to do is subtract 180 from 225 to get 45 degrees, which is your reference angle.
Here is some helpful information for the next problem. Okay, next we're going to learn how to find the 6 trig functions of 315 degrees. Just like the last lesson, we learned that to find the reference angle, you would take 315 degrees, and since it's in the fourth quadrant, you would subtract 360 by 315 to get 45 degrees. That is your reference angle. So you know you can use the 45, 45, 90 triangle that will allow you to find the rest of the 6 trig functions. From there, you know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So you take the opposite, which is negative 1, and the hypotenuse, which is the square root of 2, and to simplify, it's going to be square root of 2 negative over
Now that you
know the basics, Cameron, why don't you come up here and give it a try?
The next trig function is cosine. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. So that would be 1 over the square root of 2. Because you can't have a square root in the denominator, you have to multiply it to the top and the bottom. So that would be square root of 2 over 2. The next trig function is tangent. Tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. So that would be negative 1 over 1, which simply equals negative 1.
Next is cotangent. Cotangent is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 1 over negative 1, which is just negative 1. Next is secant. Secant equals hypotenuse over adjacent, which is negative square root of 2 over 1, which is just the square root of 2. Next is cosecant. Cosecant is hypotenuse over opposite, which is the square root of 2 over negative 1, which equals the negative square root of 2. This chart will help you find the reference angle in the next couple problems. Now we are evaluating each trig function. We're going to start with A. First, to find the cosecant of 11 pi over 4, you must find the coterminal angle. To do that, you would take 11 pi over 4 and subtract 2 pi, which is equivalent to 360, and you're going to get 3 pi over 4. Now that you have the coterminal angle, you have to find the reference angle. And to do that, since 3 pi over 4 is in the second quadrant, you're going to subtract pi from 3 pi over 4, and that equals pi over 4. Since we're trying to find this cosecant of pi over 4, you know that the cosecant equals 1 over the sine. So we're going to plug in the cosecant is equal to 1 over the sine of pi over 4. And the sine of pi over 4, we know using the unit circle, is the square root of 2 over 2. So, the cosecant of theta equals 1 over the square root of 2 over 2. To simplify that, you're going to get the square root of 2. So, the cosecant of theta of the cosecant of 11 pi over 4 equals the square root of 2.
Do I have any volunteers to come up and do B?
I will. The first step
Okay.
is to find the coterminal angle. To do this, you need to add 360 to 210, which equals 150. The next step is to find,
The reference angle.
how do I do that, Teacher Annie?
Well, what quadrant is 150 degrees in?
Is that in quadrant 2?
Yeah, so that means that you take 180 and subtract it from 150 to find your reference angle.
So it equals 30 degrees.
Great job.
In order to find tangent, or negative 210, we need to take 150.
Use the unit circle.
Oh, okay. So tangent is sine over cosine. So the tangent is 1/2 over the square root of 3 over 2, which equals square root of 3 over 3.
Great work, Cam.
Alright class, that's all for evaluating trig functions in any quadrant. Don't forget to study for the test and have a great weekend.